Live streaming is on. Check one. This is really janky, but it is what it is. Now I gotta turn on this so I can see what is going on here. Please tell me I have to reload Twitch. Should have done that beforehand. New page. You can sit and watch. See how it's played. I bet you if you watch it, you'll enjoy it.
So is it also just like a single player game?
I could do a single player or up to 4 players. That's literally what I'm gonna do.
Oh, up to 4 players? Why not up to like 16?
Cause I'm not really. Don't track my stuff. So I'm on live. Creator dashboard. All right, I can see that. We'll go to. All right, so I can basically see what's everything like that. So, Stream Manager. Wow.
It's gonna be very delayed.
It is very delayed. Yeah, it's very different. But hopefully you can hear me. Test. Test. All right, yeah. All right, so we can hear it. All right, I'm gonna put that off because that's gonna annoy the crap out of me if I hear that. So for this, we're gonna do Stadium, Pokemon, and that's what we'll do right now. So welcome everybody who's ever watching. So I am testing. This is a very impromptu. We got about an hour or so. I'm getting away from the traditional, not getting away, that's a lie. I am taking a short break from games, video games. I turned on the Xbox two nights ago, and I just couldn't play anything. I mean, I love Warhammer, I love War Thunder, I have a bunch of games I have, but my tried and true, I'm trying to do something that, with my new busy life schedule, with my job, I transitioned locations, everything like that. So what has now come to it is that I have my kids ask me like, hey, Dad, let's do something together. What do you want to do? So we're trying to come up with ideas, and one my daughter and I came up with was to play the Pokemon game, but in a different way. And how this is different is that I actually made an adventure game that's easy to learn, easy to go with. I partnered with ChatGPT and made some rules, very light rules, very loose rules. But the whole transition behind it is something that we can play together. Doesn't require a lot of setup, basically just go in and go. What took most of the time was my daughter helped me for like 2 minutes and decided to walk away from it just because it was just too much work on her part. So I went through and grabbed a whole bunch of stuff for this, just in case he wants to play. I'm gonna put that aside. I'll keep that there. So what am I looking for? There's that. I gotta make sure this is correct. So how this game works, it is a ginormous deck. Ginormous. I gotta pull these out. And the objective is to go from top to bottom of this game. So how this plays, it's kind of like thinking about it as though it's like the actual video game. So the premise behind it is you start in your own town, and then from your town you adventure out, which this is the adventure right here. You can make this with as many cards as you want. We tried this last night. We played for about 2 hours, and didn't even get through like half of it. So we arranged the game so it's going to be basically, I would say around 60 to 100 cards will probably be more than enough. I have this different types of stuff. So on here I have, these are, I know, are Pokemon encounters. I have here, which is like people encounters. And then also I have on here, whoops, on this one, item encounters. So basically I have a little I have a little bit of plethora of everything that's going on with this. I started just scattering stuff all over the place. So basically how this works is, especially for the younger audiences, and I'm still younger audiences, is trying to allow them to use their own Pokemon. So we play the trading card game together a lot of the times, and that does okay. But the formats, the plays, and everything like that, in a lot of cases, you know, we don't get to play a lot of our true and tried Pokemon that we like. So I came up with a way that you can actually play your favorite Pokemon, and then from there, it legitimately is a role-playing game. It is. So I have on a piece of paper here some stuff that I'll have to write down notes-wise, the stadium that I do, Pokemon that I do. So how this basically runs out is you have a slew of cards, and the hard part about this right now is actually mixing this pile. But the card will have a start and finish. So the start and finish that I did was the Professor Oak, and I know they make flashier cards, and you can get those afterwards. But the flashier cards that we have here, so I have Professor Oak where we're starting, and then we're finishing with Team Rocket today. So I did what they call the boss's order. Once again, they have flashier cards, you can do the full arts and stuff like that. I am just using cards that I had at random in all these boxes, and they were gifted to me from someone who opened up a whole bunch, took all the good hits, of course, and left me with the bulk. And the bulk is perfectly fine because here I am using it today. So if you're watching this, thank you for all the bulk. It has paid off. So when you start, you're going to start with Professor Oak, and I'll show you how. And then when you finish, you're going to fight the boss's order himself. We're doing a single player game today instead of, I kind of arranged this so you could do up to 4. So basically with this is that we're going to go through, and as we interact, you're going to kind of see how this goes, and I'll explain the steps as we go. So it's, without getting into too much with it. And like I said, this is the hard part, is I got to mix up enough for this to actually make sense. But I used all kinds of Pokemon. I found from water types, lightning, fighting, dark, psychic, you name it. And then when I was partnering with ChatGPT, we were kind of coming up with ideas. Well, it was coming up with all the ideas, and I kind of just went along with it and and I found out I'm not really following any of the real rules other than some of the basics on how to get XP. That's the only part we're trying to figure out, is how the experience points work. Just because you need a certain amount to go for each level, but if you chose a Pokemon that doesn't evolve, then what are you supposed to, kind of go from there? So I think we're gonna try this again tonight with my daughter, because she actually thoroughly, full-heartedly, I guess she was amazed at the whole concept and how this will work. So there are stadiums that you fight people on. There is challengers, kind of like you would at a normal game. And then I'm going to show you in a minute how I kind of introduced the evolutions to these Pokemon. So you can make this as hard or as easy as you want. If you want to add a whole bunch of legendaries, like I said, is that the audience that I'm playing with and what I'm showing to is a very hyper basic ability that will just make the game tolerable for any age. And then you can make it and you can change the rules with every player. So if you have someone that wants to do it, that wants to play this game where it's like hardcore Giga Chad level, catching. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm thinking about taking the item cards out of here because I don't have any rewards. So I'm going to start with this being the single player option. And what I'm going to do, just because of the sake of time, I don't know how far I'll get, I will actually remove half of these cards. And that's what you can do, is you can take half of this. I'll add a couple more encounters if I need to. But Pokemon are going to be important, obviously. But I want to make sure, and it gave me a rough estimate on this stuff here. So I only have about an hour, but I think there's enough in here for me to really try it out. So I'm going to pre-look. Shoot. I didn't do that right. I'm going to take Eevee out for right now, which is fine. But I need to be able to mix this. This is absurd. It's not absurd. Wrong words of advice. Is that you can make this deck as small or as large as you want. So I'm going to do the whole, because that's the kind of person I am. They have sleeves, and guess what? These cards, there's truly no value to these cards. Why? Well, maybe some of the older ones, like I'm looking at my Magikarp and stuff like that. But overall, is the objective about this is that I know people who have cards are using their bulk and everything like that. So what we're able to do is utilize this bulk in any way you want, and use this bulk any way you want and make a deck. So I think that's pretty much mixed up for the most part. And just for fun, we'll do that. But it looks like this one's going to have a lot of good stuff with this. All right, so this is how much I'm removing. As you can tell, I'm getting bot calls like crazy, and it's annoying. Anyways, so about half of that I'm going to be getting rid of. I'm going to put that aside. So welcome to the adventure game for 1 to 4 players. And how this is going to work, we have our last boss here. So I already mixed it. Thank you. And then we're going to put that at the bottom. Okay? You start your game with Professor's Research. And basically, the Professor's Research stands for the area where you're starting to, get your Pokemon. You run in the game, you start with one person, they give you your Pokemon, all that kind of stuff. So when you put that on top, I don't know what the significant difference of this is, but overall this is just what I wanted to do. In the game, you can mix up basics, and that's the other thing. So the introductions and the stuff that we're going to be going against, what you're going to see is the actual Pokemon guide. So I got this as a gag gift for one of my birthdays, and it actually turned to be something, a huge help in how this kind of goes with this RPG. So a lot of elements. I'm pretty sure you can get this on Amazon, but in this book, it has legitimately every Pokemon that was ever created in the world, period. Okay, from all their stuffs there, so you can see. I'll have there, but you can go through and it will have everything from all your classics to just you name it, every generation. This was incredible. So I'm actually utilizing this, and I'll show you how, hopefully. So I will probably speed up some stuff, slow down some stuff. So how this is going to go, and hopefully I'll get into arena as well, so I can show you what those are. Now these are your when you hit a stadium, you'll actually fight one or numerous, however you want it, depending on the amount of players. Also, what you want to do is that if you have 4 players, you might want to fight, 4 challengers or 3 challengers, or you can have one guy that says, hey, I'm going to take on, you know, the entire net of people that are there. So based off of the amount of players is based off the amount of Pokemon that you find. So I keep these aside. So from there. And then right here, I got this is our normal thing, so I'll have for 3. So every one in the rules is that your Pokemon, you can have up to 3 Pokemon on your bench. And as you go through the game, because of how small this is in your adventure, you can only, so if you knock out, there's different ways you can do this. For the sake of time, I'm going to do the easy route, kind of like what I'm doing with my, for my younger daughter, but I'll use these 3. And then how your introduction goes, you can play theme music, and you can do, honestly, you can have it as immersive as you want. I would say the better. I mean, obviously, we want to get as close to the actual adventure game as possible. Listen, I grew up in a time where, you know, I had the N64, Super Nintendo, things like that. And, you know, this day and age is that I love the convenience. I love the ability that you can just play games all day, your smartphones, all that kind of stuff. But I just hit a point where being connected to your phone all the time and having these, you know, pay to play games, all that kind of stuff, it just kind of like, I just wanted a break from it all. So it's just like, you know, what made that time of the year so good compared to this is that, you know, the imagination. And that's something I want to just bring up with my kids. I showed my kids things like my old N64, Super Nintendo, and my kids were like, no, this is stupid. I don't even want to look at this. They weren't even interested in it anymore. So I'm like, okay, not a problem. So I wanted to kind of bring back and show the efforts that, you know, have an imagination. This is what this kind of does, and, you know, it's okay to not have it 100%. It's okay not to do, you know, what it's doing, but I wanted to go on here with the live feed and kind of just show off what this game's all about. So, like I said, I played this a little bit last night. We didn't do a full-on video, but I wanted to try the single player, and I also want to dive in a little bit on the multiplayer aspect. So the single player, I'm going to play it the way I did last night, as it went through, and then as I play and figure that out tonight when I play with my daughter in this game, then we'll mix it up a little bit. So lo and behold, welcome to the adventure of the game. So you start with your first card, goes down. What the? Phew. All right, sorry. First card that goes down, Professor Oak. Welcome to your Pokemon adventure game. Professor Oak, as you know who he is that he is going to give me my first Pokemon of choice. So here at this point, you can do 3 random Pokemon if you want, you know, turn them over and have everyone flip. Or what we did was we just went ahead and just got our favorite Pokemon. So my favorite Pokemon is Magikarp. And then from Magikarp, behind these card itself, is that I actually put the evolution card right behind the basic. So that way I will have what I need. This is from Evolution set. I had a couple of these, and it's got the hollow foil, so it might be, you know, worth a little bit more than your average bear, but this was one of my favorite Gyarados back in the day, so I just wanted to bring some nostalgia back to the game style and kind of enjoy this aspect of it. So basically I take this card and I put it behind here, and that's the way I did our evolution. So throughout the games, if you want to make it harder, you can get rid of all the basics and, you know, put the stage 1, put the stage 2, whatever you want that's going to make this, you know, experience with it. So how the RPG works is that it already has an attack, and then also from the book, how the attacks are going to go is that you have to kind of come up with your own tactics with this, and I'll show you what I mean. So basic Pokemon will be worth 50 hit points, and they'll hit for 30. Stage 1, they will be 100, and they'll hit for 50. And stage 2 is worth 150 hit points, and they'll hit for 100. That's basically what I hit, just to give me a little challenge, and you can dumb it down, hype it up, however you want to do it, but these are what's going to go effect with this book that I'm using here, because this book has none of the hit points or attacks or anything like that. So like I said, basic items with this. So I'm going to put that aside. So from our Magikarp here, we're going to go into our first counter. So we have a Noibat. So the Noibat in itself, it's 60 points basic. It's got its hits and all that kind of stuff. So how this goes is we're going to roll for hit. So I'm actually going to use the bigger dice on this one. So let's use one that we can actually see. So on here, so 1 through 3 is a miss. 4 to 6 is a hit. So I'm going to roll. I got a 2, so I miss. Now it's his turn. So the Noibat's going to roll. 3, he misses. I'm going to try again. 3, I miss. Noibat. Whoop. Whoop. Noibat. 3, he misses. My turn. 6. We're going to hit it for 30 points. Bam. And then he's going to take a hit. He hits for me. I'm going to make him just use the 10 points because I don't feel like losing my Pokemon right out of the gate because that would be kind of embarrassing. So we're going to put the 10 on there. See? My own house rules. I can play the game ever I want. That's what makes it fun. I'm going to roll again. 60, 30. So that would make it a knockout. Now, at this point, this is where the confusing part is that when you start your adventure, you should have Pokeballs. So that's something that's I'm going to work with. And that's why I'm recording it. Kind of can go back and see where I had some hiccups, some trial and errors. That's why this is called a test game for this. So from the 60, so what we did for make this happen, so from the Magikarp, what we're going to do is we want up to 3. And the more Pokemon you have, the better. So the 10's going to stay on there for damage. With the Noibat, I'm going to need some more attackers on here. So I'm actually going to put that to my party. I knocked it out. You can leave it to go, or you can add it to your party. Or if you have the Pokeball, basically you can still do the same thing. So 1 through 3 is a miss. 4 through 6 is a catch. So you can add it as hard or easy as you want with it. So with this case, I'm going to add Noibat with it. Now, the leveling system on this. So these are basic, but they both have a stage 1 evolution. So basically, the experience is where I am getting confused. So my Magikarp knocked out 1. So I'm going to mark down on my my thing here where my Magikarp add 1. So it's kind of like the whole thing where you can do, whoever you attack with, whoever you knock out, that's the person that's going to get the points. But in this one, I'm going to do that was the old-fashioned way. The newer games, they have experience share. So basically, I'm going to add some experience share to all of my Pokemon. So when I hit and knock out 10 Pokemon, then I'm going to be able to move to the next stage for my Pokemon there. Now, the other thing that we're understanding is basically if you have a single player, you have a basic Pokemon, I mean, it's not going to level up in any ways. You can add those elements you want, but like I said, this is a very watered down version of this game, so that's basically what we're playing with. So I got the Noibat. Second one we'll go, Caldea, 120. So how this is going to go is that I'm going to roll for Magikarp to hit first, miss, and then Noibat. Miss. Caldeo is going to hit 6. Now he's going to choose which one he was. 1 through 3 is going to be Magikarp. 4 through 6 is going to be Noibat. So 4 is going to be Noibat. He's going to hit 20 on this here. We'll put that on that, and then we go again. So Magikarp, man, you suck. Noibat, thank you. We're going to do a 30 on this hit here, and then it's going to be his turn. So he swings, he misses completely. Magikarp, what do you got? Miss. I'm going to get rid of you, Magikarp. 5, Noibat. You're awesome, you're amazing. So we're going to hit with another 30. So we're going to hit it up for 60, so that means he has 60 more hits to go. So Caldeo misses. Magikarp, thank you. You're going to hit for 30. Let's grab some more dice here. Here's one. Magikarp, you hit for 30. Noibat, what do you got? You hit for another 30, so that's 60. Boom. So we hit 120. And just for fun, let's see if we can capture it. Caldeo, you are mine. I rolled a 5, so I'm going to add him to my team. So now I have my 3 Pokemon. So from there, we put that aside. those still stay there. Now, we are hitting a tool here, so let's see what this is going to be. I got a Hyper Potion. So Hyper Potions are going to mean all kinds of stuff. I'm actually going to hold on to this because the Hyper Potion that I have on here is actually going to, and you could put your different types of healing opportunities for this one. You can go by what the card says is heal 120 damage. So you can do that, but I'm going to wait until they're worth 120 damage. So I'm going to put that in my inventory. So we'll keep that there. And then we're going to move on to the next one. So we have our Dweeble. I'm gonna go with Keldeo first. So I'm gonna swing with Keldeo. Keldeo, you miss. Noibat, what do you got? 4, that's good. So you're gonna hit him with 30. And then Magikarp, what'd you get? 4, you're gonna hit with 30. So we're gonna let him faint. So I gotta remember from this we had 1, he knocked out this 1, 2, and then 3. So we're up to 3 there. And then the next one. Ponyta. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. We're just gonna roll with it because other people. Magikarp, you missed. Noibat, you hit for the 30. Grand. So we're gonna do that 30 there. Come on, 30, 30, 30. There it is, 30. And then Keldeo, you're gonna roll 2. Okay, so Ponyta, what do you got? Sorry about that again. And then with Ponyta, we're gonna do 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. So Noibat, he goes 4. He hits for 20 damage. He hit 40. All right, Keldeo, you need to swing in there. And we got a 5, 50. Next one, we have Halchula. Halchula. Whatever, Halchula. He's only got a 30. And I use, just like I said, we're just using the attacks that they have on there. Oh, we knocked out 4 Pokemon on that one. So Halchula. Magikarp, show me what you got. 6. You're going to hit for 30. Nice. Noibat, you're going to hit for 30. Great. And then we still need one more hit from you. You miss. All right. Is definitely going to miss. Magikarp, you're going to miss. Noibat, you're going to hit for 30. So we're just going to let him go for knockout. So we're up to 5 and move on to the next one. Sizzlipede, 80. All right, and then and here's the other thing that we're going into is basically understanding this is it gives you your weaknesses. So I can on the fly add that. So I'm gonna just write down weakness use, which will be really good. You can do double the damage for that. I think that's gonna help out tremendously on that aspect. So let's roll for this. All right, Magikarp missed. Noibat. Oh. Noibat. Miss. Keldeo. 6. So he has for 50, but because this is a water base and that's a weakness of water 2 times, that's 100. So we're going to knock him out entirely. But I also like... Do I like him? So that's the other thing that you have to think about during these games because the basics that you have are bad now. House Rule, let me just see what kind of powers he has. Ooh, he's got a burst of 120. So he might actually be worth more in the long run, especially if we go against grass, because I already have a water one, and I'm keeping with the water one because I want my... So let's just roll to see if I get him. 6. So I'm going to let Keldeo go. Back into the wild, and I'm going to bring up Sizzlipede with that one, which is pretty good. So from Sizzlipede, we have here, now here's my new team. So I'm going to go into the next one. Perfect. So our next card is the Stadium card. how does a stadium card go and how does this work? So this is what I'm talking about. So overall, when the stadium comes in, you grab your trainers. We're gonna give them a little shuffle. Does it matter who's gonna be in it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. And for the fan base of this, just to let you know, is that I know throughout the shows and things like that, they've had certain Pokemon, but I'm not using, so like Lance, he's huge on Dragonite, all that kind of stuff. I'm not letting him use Dragonite. So we're gonna randomize, and I'll show you how to randomize those Pokemon for this. So we're going to just choose one, and our choice is gonna be Marnie. So Marnie is going to be our trainer of choice in the first stadium. So Marnie, I'm gonna write that down on there. So for the stadium, we're going against Marnie. And then Marnie, let's see what her Pokemon are. So this is how this works. So you're gonna take these 3 dice, and you're rolling. And then 3, 1, 4. So 3, 1, 4, 314. So you're gonna go into the book. We're gonna go to page 314. And you will get to choose on 314 which one and which level you want to go to. Due to time, we're gonna go with just the standard. This is actually a second. That's not the first type. Or is it? That's a Mega. So we're gonna go with the Lopunny. So Marnie's gonna have Lopunny. And Lopunny is going to be a stage, I think it's a stage 1. So this is going to be 100. And then we're going to roll again. 246, 246. $246. Oh my God. We're gonna go Hatena. And that will be a basic hit of 50. And then last one, we're gonna roll again. 3, 1, 1. So 311. We'll go with the Litleo. So Litleo, and that'll be another 50. All right, so we have our 3 Pokemon. Marnie's 3 are going to be Lopunny, Hatena, and Litleo. That's our basics with that one. So the one that's going to be the most is going to be the 100. So that's what the one I'm going to be focusing on first. So I'm going to use Lopunny is a basic. In most cases, it's usually fighting type, which I don't have fighting type with that. So we're gonna just hope for the best. So I'm gonna just go right down the line. Sizzlipede, miss. Noibat, hit 30 on Lopunny. And then Magikarp, 30 there. So 60 on that. So I went all 3 there. Now it's her turn. So we're gonna go right down the line. Lopunny's gonna swing and hit for 50 and 2, 4, 6, 1. So that's gonna go down to, that knocks that out. So my Magikarp just got knocked out. Second one, Noibat is gonna come from Hatena, and that's gonna choose between, now this becomes the 1 to 2, 3, because you only have 3, and then 4 to 6. So 3, that's going to be Noibat. This one's going to be, Hatena's going to be a 30 hit. So 40. There's that. And then Litleo. Oh, sorry. Litleo. Miss. Okay, good. So I'll go with the Sizzlipede. Miss. And then Lopunny, hit 100. Oh my God. So here's a great scenario, and this would happen. So my first stadium that I played, I got completely annihilated. So this is one of those things that if you're not ready because of your basics and you don't want to go to the stadium, you can skip it, or you can add a card that says, you know, there we go. But I don't want this to end right now. So what I'm going to do is, because it's my game, I'm going to put everyone back in the game. So everyone's going to be back to normal. We'll put these back on here, and then we'll just count this as a loss on that front. So I'm not going to get any prizes, any rewards, all that kind of stuff. Marnie is still the reigning champion of that stadium. So we're going to continue on. We have another potion. Move on. Barry. So Barry is going to be just like Marnie, but we're just going to go with one Pokemon each. So with Barry, we're going to roll. We're going to go with 5, 4, 2, 542. That's all the way back there. 542. Tadbulb. We're going to go with Tadbulb. And Tadbulb right there is going to be a basic, so he's only going to have 50. So let's just hope that we have what we need here. So Magikarp, do your thing. Miss Noibat, hit 30, and Sizzlipede hit as well. So we did the 50 on that one. That knocks that person out. We're going to put a... when you beat a trainer like this, you could do 1, you could do 2. So I'm just going to continue with the 1. So we're up to 6 Pokemon knocked out. Next one we're moving on. Team Yelp, that's another team that I added in there. So kind of like the, I don't have too many Team Rockets, and that's something that I'll find out. You know, about this game, you can make it as adventurous as you want. So you can go to personal card shops and find, you know, those cards that you are going to be able to play with and all that kind of stuff. So the Team Cheer, that's the bad guys. I'm not looking at this. Basically, we're going to make Team Cheer there. So we'll do 424. Let's see what 424 brings us. Yeah. Page 424, we're going to go against Porygon there. So there's that one. Porygon's going to be a basic, so we're going to do a 50 hit with that one. So we'll start right down the middle. Magikarp hits for 30. Noibat misses. Sizzlipede, 2 misses. He's going to swing and hit 2, 4, 6. He's going to go against Noibat. And then that was a automatic. So with 3, that was an automatic 30 hit. So we're going to do 30 on Noibat there. And then Magikarp, miss. Noibat, miss. Sizzlipede, you guys are terrible. Team Grunt, 5, he hits. 2, 4, 6. 2, so that's an automatic 30. He already knocks out Magikarp. Noibat misses. Sizzlipede misses. He swings, misses. Noibat misses. Sizzlipede misses. Team Yelp goes back in and misses. Noibat, boom, hits for 30. And we knocked out the Pokemon, so we're going to go with here. Now, I don't have any revives in this deck yet, so I'm going to consider this Hyper Potion as a revival. So I'm going to put this in and use it. I'm going to bring Magikarp back to life there. Our next thing we have, Great Ball. Here we go. So I added the Pokeballs in there. Here's a Great Ball. So for my daughter's sake, basically, if you have a Pokeball, you can just choose a Pokemon. Instead of knocking it out, you can just use the Great Ball right out of the gate, or you can try to attempt to catch it. So basically, 1 through 3 is a miss, but 4 through 6, so if you roll like a 3 and you think you're gonna miss, The Pokeball can add +2 to you have +1, +2, +3, depending on the Pokeball that you have, up to a Master Ball. I don't even know if they make Master Ball. I think they do, but I don't know how expensive that is. So I'm not worried about that right now. But we have a Pokeball and a potion left over. Next encounter, we have a Sock. Oh, I don't know why I'm using those. So Sock, we're going to use Magikarp again. 2 miss. Noibat, miss. Sizzlipede hits for 20. Now his Psychic is what's going to be big on that one. So we're going to hit that for 20. So now he's going to swing. He's going to miss. Magikarp, miss. Noibat, hit for 30. Sizzlipede, miss. Shock is a miss. 5, 30. So that's 60, 70, 80. Where is it? There we go. 60. We're going to do it again. Noibat, Sizzlipede for the 20, and we're going to knock it out. Next one that we have, Pokestop. So the Pokestops that I added here, these are what I like to use for breaks. Basically, at this point, you'll just stop. You can, take a break, go to the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack, whatever it is. It's basically your time to basically stretch, all that kind of stuff, just because, as you can tell, this game could be pretty extensive, or so on and so forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue on. Hip Up is a 40, so this one has a fire of 2, so I'm going to actually swing with Sizzlipede right now. Miss. Noibat, 5, so 30, and then Magikarp, miss. So we have a 30 hit on this one right now. Hip Up is going to hit. Nope, miss. Magikarp, 5, 30, thank you. We're going to be mixed out. Next one is going to be Swallow. Magikarp will start with you. Miss. Noibat, hit for 30. Sizzlipede, what can you give me? A miss. Swallow is going to hit for 30. Which one are you swinging at? 4. 2, 4. So that's going to take it for 60. That's going to knock out Noibat. Sizzlipede, what do you got? Or not Sizzlipede, so they knocked it out. So Magikarp. Magikarp hits for 30. Boom. We got that knocked out there. 4. I'm going to use this potion again. And we're going to bring back Noibat. Next thing, Pokestop again. So once again, if you need to take a quick break, whatever you want, great. Next one, Team Grunt. Let's see what they have to fight here. So 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 is... crap. Deoxys. We are fighting a Deoxys. I'm gonna honestly make this a stage. It's considered, I guess, a stage 1. It's a basic, and here's where you got to go. It's considered a basic, so you can have a 50, but you can't do that to a legendary Pokemon. So we'll make this the 150 and see how this goes. And here's the things: if you land on a legendary, a mythical Pokemon, so you can add extra bonuses and stuff like that if you wanted to with that. So basically, what you're going to be able to do with this is, with Deoxys, we're going to try to go and take this on. So we'll be brave and bold. So we'll do the stage. You know what? We'll do a stage 1. We'll do stage 1 for 100. So I don't even know where this guy got that one. So Magikarp, what do you got? You hit for 30, which is good. Okay, 30. Noibat, miss. Sizzlipede, hit for 20. So that's 50. Team Yelp, definitely hits with 4. 2, 4, 6. You're going for Sizzlipede. Stage 1 is going to be a 50 hit on that one. Magikarp, miss. Noibat, definitely a hit for 30. Sizzlipede, hit for another 20. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So we take out the thing. So now, here we go. So this is where it gets interesting. So now we have 10 Pokemon. So however you want to do this. So I've been keeping track on this piece of paper, basically keeping track of the stadium and the Pokemon that we knock out. So we have officially hit 10 Pokemon for your experience points. So you can choose any of these to level up. And I think that's what we're going to do. So let's randomize. We can either randomize it or you can choose whatever one you want. So for the sake of the game, just for this, so Magikarp, Noibat, or Sizzlipede. So 2, 4, 6. Who gets to upgrade? 3. So Noibat will now become Noivern. So I upgraded Noibat to Noivern. So now that is who is on my bench. So we'll keep there. And that's the biggest thing about this game that you have to understand is that once you switch them, you kind of have to remember to switch them back to the basics, or if you want that challenge, you could put that on there, to go against the Noivern. Like I said, you can add whatever flavor you want. I'm showing everybody this, I don't think I'm reinventing the wheel in any way, shape, or form, but overall, it was thoroughly a great game. I had so much fun with this game last night, especially with other people on a rainy day, or if the power's out, you name it. This is the way to go, just because in a lot of cases, kids don't mind being competitive, but at the same time, I know my kids, and they just want to have fun. They want to casual. They want to, catch Pokemon. And here's the cool part is that, let's just say you're by yourself for a while and you're only about this. You can call about anybody, that's in the house. So my son, my daughter, my wife, whoever wants to join in, they can come in and they can, start on their adventures as well. So, for instance, my son's favorite, I put in there Froakie, because he likes the Greninja. And then for my daughter and my wife, I added multiple of these, but they love the Eevee evolutions, and they also love the my daughter likes Flareon. I honestly don't know why, but Flareon's her favorite, and my wife loves Sylveon. Those are her favorites is there. So I have those aside for their I just keep those aside just for that. And I know I have a Sylveon or Flareon or Sylveon and Leafeon in here because I couldn't find my Flareon for some reason. All right, so congratulations. We have a Noibat, which is great on here. There's Trubbish. So Trubbish is a 70. So Magikarp, what do you got? You are a miss. Noivern. 5. Definitely hits for 70, and you just knock it out, which is fantastic. New Pokeball. We have a Great Ball here. Nope, Quick Ball. So we have a Quick Ball there. Now, the other idea that I'm playing with is also your PC. So kind of like in the game, you can have a Pokemon computer where you can keep ones on the side if you want to, keep them for next game or whatever like that. And that's something else you can do, is that if you want to just remix all the cards again or play with the other deck that you made, you can literally do anything you want with this. Like I said, it has been an immersive experience so far that has been fantastic with this. So we're going to let Trubbish go. Next one, Team Yelp. Let's see what Team Yelp's got going on. Team Yell, I should say. 166. 166. It's either Electabuzz or Eldegoss. It's going to be one of those two there. Which one? Which one should I go with? I'm going to go with Electabuzz, because Electabuzz is considered a stage we'll call it a stage right there. So it actually gives you your evolutions there. So this is considered a stage 1 because they have Electrokid and Electivire, which is on the other side. So this is going to be a stage 1. This one I know is that's a stage 1 as well. So it doesn't matter. We'll just go against Electabuzz. Electabuzz is going to have a 100 hit points with a 50 attack. All right, Magikarp, what do you got? Miss. Nivern. Now that's the other thing is that when they're upgrading, I think I should come up with a better way that when it comes to hit or misses is that you can waive it that if you do a 1 or 2, it's a miss, and then 3 through 6 can be a hit. So 5, 70 on that one. That was a good one. 70 hit. And then I haven't been keeping track of this. We had a Trubbish, and then miss on that one. So now that's Team Yelp is going to miss Magikarp. 6 with the 3, so that we got the 30, so that's 100. So that Pokemon is knocked out. Let's move on to the next one. We got a Heal, fantastic. Next Pokemon, Snom with Frostmoth at the top there. So 40. Hit for 30, Noivern. You definitely hit that. We got that one, no problem. The 3. And then as you can see progressively, so this is cool here. Pokemon Center Lady. Boom. So what I added there is the ability for your whole party. You ready for this one? The whole party gets to heal. So all damage is healed off of those Pokemon. That's why I have there. So you get to say cheers for everybody. The Pokemon Center Lady has healed everybody. So next one, Flackings. We're gonna roll Magikarp. What do you got? 4, you hit for 30. Noivern, 3. So I'm gonna make that thing because they upgraded. So that's gonna be hit for 70, and we're gonna take that out. New item, we got a new potion, which is fantastic. Lapras, 120. So here's a little bit more of an epic Pokemon. So from here, let's see what we got here. Magikarp, what do you got? Miss. Noivern. Definitely miss. Sizzlipede, 5. So you hit for 20. So Lapras does 100 damage. Because I'm just going by the thing there. So because I dealt with this last night. So it missed. Thank God. All right, Magikarp. Miss. Noivern. 70. So that's 100. Sizzlipede, it's up to you. 6. 20. Whoo! That's good. That got me scared. Great Ball. I'm keeping these all. I don't even care. This is all my stuff. Actually, I'm missing out, so I'm gonna put those right there. And then I'll have my potions and the Pokeballs there. That's pretty cool. Next one, Wooloo. Magikarp, what do you got? 5, hitting for 30. Noivern, way miss. I don't even know why you're not even trying. 3, Centipede. You're gonna let this sheep hit. The sheep misses, thank God. Magikarp, 2, Noivern. Thank you. We knocked out again. We got a Great Ball. I got enough. So we're just gonna keep going. Dancer. So Dancer is going to have, those are one of those other type of challengers that we have. So we're going to roll to see what Pokemon she owns. So 2, 3, 6, 236. And if you run into the same page, just go a page more. So we go to 236. Where are they finding these? Grimmsnarl. So this Dancer is dealing with the Grimmsnarl here. So, and those are one of those cool things that, like Gigantamax, I know I have some Gigantamax cards, but I don't know how or when I'm going to incorporate that. Maybe during stadium battles will make more sense, or just for fun for my kids, you know, if they want to do a Gigantamax or a Dynamax just to stop the Pokemon that's there because they'll do an absurd amount more damage. we can go down that route. But for right now, for the basics of this, Grimmsnarl, this is a level stage 2. So Grimmsnarl is going to have 150 out of a Dancer. What is going on? Magikarp, what do you got? 5. We're going to hit for 30, which is great. Noivern, you missed. Sizzlipede, you hit for 20. So we're going to do 50 damage to this one. So this thing still has 100 damage. So the Dancer is going to swing Grimmsnarl, and that's going to miss. Magikarp, 4. You hit your 30. Noivern. Now, you're probably thinking about is then, if you're going against a stage 2, how come you're not using the same rules as you would for mine? Because it's my rules. I'll do whatever I want with this one. Just for the sake of this, I'm going to 1 through 3, they're going to miss. 4 through 6, like I said, you can do whatever house rules and how hard or easy you want to make this. Sizzlepede's going to hit for 20, so we're going to do 50. So now they're down to 50 more. The Dancer's going to swing. Definitely hits. Oh, this is going to knock 1. So 2, 4, 6. You get my Sizzlepede. And then I'm going to swing with Magikarp. 30. Noivern, thank you. All right, so Noivern gets the hit, and then I'm going to use my potion. I'm going to bring back Sizzlepede, and we're going to go on to the next character. Dedenne, 4. Weakness is Steel, which I don't have, or I have, but I actually have an Onyx in this one somewhere. And then checking my time, 2:43. So the next 15 minutes. So we might try to hurry this up a little bit, just because I'm going to be running out of time soon. But overall, it's this was a good concept. This was a great idea just to see where we're going with that. So we're going to just keep going for right now. So Magikarp, you hit for 30. He's got an attack of 60. That hits just a singular, just as much as this one. So 4 Noivern, we got that, so that's fine. But I want to get to upgrading all the other ones, so let's see if we have those. Venomat. Magikarp hits. Noivern misses. Sizzle. Swings, hits for 4. 6, so you're going to hit 20 on the Sizzle Pod. Magikarp's going to go back. 4. All right, Magikarp got that one. Oh, Hyper Potion. That was awesome. Oh, another potion, which is fantastic. And then we have Stunfish, which is nice. Stunfish, 110. What is it weak against? Fighting, which I don't have. So Magikarp, do your thing. Whiff. That's what you've been doing. Noivern, 5. 70 on that one. Do I have a 70? How about a 60 plus 10? Sizzlepede. Whiff. 2. Stunfish doesn't hit either. Magikarp misses. Noivern hits the 70. So that's 140. So that marks that. Boom. So then that's already upgraded. So now between the two, we're going to see 1 through 3, 4 through 6. 4 through 6. So now we're going to heal all the damage because our Sizzlepede is now going to be Centiskorch. So there we go on that one. That's pretty sweet. Centiskorch will go down. Oh, it's a Rapid Strike? That's pretty sweet. I like that, actually. Okay, anyways. Next one's Quick Ball. I don't need any more Pokemon, so I'm going to get there. Potions. Can never have enough potions because of the way I've been playing. Pokemon Center Lady. So everyone is healed again, which is fantastic on that one. New one. Darkrai. We are up against a Darkrai, folks. So this thing can hit for 90. It is pretty lethal. So let's see what we got here. Magikarp, what do you got? A 4. You're going to hit for 30, which is nice. Noivern. Miss. Centiskorch. 3. We're going to call it. So 120. Definitely get that knocked out. So that's cool. We're trying to farm 110. We're going to go with Centiskorch first, see if I can just knock this out in one hit. 5. So it's 240. It's gone. Oh! Rare Candy. Oh my god, there's so many. It's my own game I'm getting excited about. This is fantastic. So, Rare Candy that we have here. So, lo and behold, I added these because you can instantly upgrade your Pokemon with those cards. So, our Magikarp now becomes the Gyarados. The Gyarados. Love it. Love me some Gyarados. So now we have a good team that we're going with. Noivern, if we catch anything or anything that's good, we might work through that. But right now, this is a pretty good team. We're doing all right. So now let's see how fast we go through. Ooh, yet Vetile. So Gyarados with the 180 attack. You are demolishing that one. Ekans, start with Gyarados, destroy. Zorora, 60, Gyarados, destroy. Now we got Pokestop. So, lo and behold, this is our break time here. This has been pretty good so far, so that's what we have on this, is that the stop, and this is the game so far. So we've seen a lot of experiences with this. It definitely helps. And then I know that tonight from what I'm doing. So let me just see, we're gonna take a break and just see what was in that other deck. So I had Teddy, Magmar, Psyduck, there's a new Stadium, Magnemite, Hyper Potion, Mankey, Absol, Stantler, Verizon. Let's go, Brandon. Oh, everything got mixed up here. So that was from last night. My daughter had Squirtle. So we had the... Actually, while I'm here, let's bring Squirtle back. And Wartortle. On that one. Probably all the good ones and the good classics are in here. So we got Jinx. Another Pokestop, Sudowoodo, Meowth. Ah, there's Pikachu, Geodude, another Rare Candy, Scyther. Some of these are just fodder for you to just fight, basically. Turtonator, Vulpix, another Pokestop, Bugcatcher, Durant. There's Sylveon. That's what I wanted before. I'm going to keep that aside. Sylveon. There is the Baltoy. There's the Electabuzz, Pokeball. Actually, when I'm going here, where is that other? Now that I'm involved in this. Oh, and there was the other classic that we have. So we have a Leafeon and possible Charizard in this one. So these are from the Pokemon Go series. Yep, Pokemon Go. So they remade all the classics again. So I was really excited that they did this. But I got the Bulbasaur, Squirtle. So that means in here we have a Leafeon that I still have to find. And actually I'm going to do this one right now so I don't lose it. So Sylveon, we'll go with this Eevee here. And then I'll just have to wait when I get the Leafeon, because you can actually, that is actually pretty cool with these. So you can have, there's so many different EVs. So with these EVs, you can get all the classics, and you can put them right there. So you can even do a surprise for yourself where you don't even know which Pokemon you're gonna get. So you can do that, because I know there's like 6 or 7 different types. So that would actually be really cool in itself. So I'll keep that aside for that one. I might even be able to do a 4-player. That'd be great if I could do a 4-player on this one. That'd be fantastic. Oh! We have the Charmander. Actually, I want to know what kind of power. I don't remember what I have for this one. Oh yeah, we want the Charmander. I'm going to send back Centiskorch. So I'm going to throw a Great Ball at it. Let's just see if we can get it. 1. Oh. So hitting with 1. We missed, but it doesn't run away. We're going to try again. 6. 6 with the Quick Ball. Boom. We're going to automatically get that. Thank you, Centiskorch, for all of your efforts. Really appreciate what you did for the team. Great job there. So now we're going to add the Charmander to our roster. The Weedle. 5. Definitely hit for Charmander. That's a 10. So it's going to do 20 damage on that one. Noivern. 4 hit. Instant kill. So now these two can feed into the Charmander to get what we need there. There's the Ultra Ball. Hyper Potion. Can't get enough potions. The Bug Catcher. So the Bug Catcher, let's see what Pokemon they have. A little nervous. There's no 600 page. I don't think there is. 165. We're going to go against this SKQ right there. So we're going to fight the SKQ. That's not going to be bad. All right, Gyarados. Miss. Noivern. Miss. Charmander. Hit for 10. Jeez. And that hits. It goes for my Gyarados and does 30 damage. All right, Gyarados, thank you. You just wiped him out. Goodbye, Bug Catcher. There he is, Leafeon. Do I want to fight it? No, I was looking for that one, so we're going to put that aside. Which one is this? I don't remember. That was my Sylveon. So we're going to do this one. And then if I find another one, I'll do another Eevee somewhere. I'll just put that on top of there. So we got a Leafeon, Eevee, that kind of stuff. All right, so now I got one for each buddy, which is pretty cool. Team Grunt, what do you got there, Team Grunt? Let's see what you're fighting. 421. 421. Is... Ooh, so we can either go against the Poliwrath. So we can go against the Poliwrath or the Poltergeist. Let's do the Ghostly Poltergeist. That's a basic for 50. Let's hit that up. So, oh, let me, while I'm here, let's do some healing. Gyarados misses. Noivern. 70. Oh, that was a basic. Okay, so that's good. Burkish. 1. Noivern. 4 hits, 70. That's good. And the Pokestop. I don't remember how many rare candies are in here. I don't remember. I don't remember what I put in there. We're gonna keep going. Carvana, Gyarados, hits, and gets. Next one, Stuffle, Gyarados, 4. Next one, Rattata. Gyarados hits for 180, 5. So we'll get Charmander at least to Charmeleon. So now we have, that's my choice of Charmeleon. There's, like I said, you can be as fancy or as cheap as you want with these. They make a flavor literally for everybody. So there's that one there. Let me see how this camera goes in. See if we can get a better shot. Not bad. Okay, so there's that one. Next game, we're gonna try, I don't think I have 10 more Pokemon. I gotta see if I can get their Charmeleon. So we got the Hyper Potion. We got the Stadium. I'm not gonna be able to go against the Stadium right now. So let's just keep going on. Oh, Rare Candy. The Rare Candy automatically. And that's choice from Pokemon Go. Check out the prices on these. I don't even know how much it is. And actually, if I have the time, actually I'll check that out now. So this Charizard here. So this Pokemon Go Charizard. So just to kind of give you a hint, so let's go look at Google. Charizard. Pokemon TCG set go. TCG player is on there for there's a shiny version for $10, $9, $1.71 for this one, and that's the unfoil one. So 171. That's awesome. That's huge. Cheap. Love it. Love it. So, like I said, these games, you can make them as cheap or as durable as you want with that. We have the Schoolboy. So the Schoolboy here. Let's see what he has to fight with. It's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna get my kids. Actually, you know what? I gotta get my kids. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way. Zoroark. We had Sandgas. We had a Pokemon Center. Pokemon Center. Pokemon Center. So make sure you have your cards. There's a full heal there. But inevitably you're supposed to go... Oh, I got a Mewtwo in there. Like I said, you can add all kinds of Growlithe, Gym Trainer, Rockruff, and lo and behold, you eventually get down to the last of the game. So you're going to go against the boss's order. So Team Rocket, and now you can add boosted to these guys. You can do this. So for the final boss here, we are going against the Team Rocket leader himself, Grr. So let's just see what 3 Pokemon he comes up with. 111. He's got a Copera. So we're going against a Copera, which is a level S1. So this is going to be Copera. Second one, 141. A Diglett. So we're against a Diglett. And then lastly, 365. $365. Is a Morlo or Morgrem. Morgrem is the second of it. This one's the, so for the thing, we're gonna give him the, feel bad for him, the Morlo. So that's gonna be that. So that one right there. The Morlo. So our 3, the final boss, let's see what we can get here. So our battle is for the bosses. So we're gonna roll with the Gyarados. 3, he hits, and that one was a stage 1. So that's 100, he knocks it out. Norvern swings, hits for 70. Second one was a Diglett. Basic Pokemon 50, knocks it out. Charizard hits 170, obliterates that mushroom guy. There you go. We have defeated the boss. We have ventured through. So this was the test for my single player. And like I said, so I pull this out, this here. I want my Magikarp. On that, we're gonna put that aside, so that way I have the 4 Pokemon that my kids and wife enjoys. So I'm gonna keep these aside, so that's where you first start. Everything else, I'm gonna put Noivern back to basic on that one. Charizard. There's that one, and then that should be it there. Yeah, there's that. I got my potions, everything there. We have Marnie, that stuff stays out. So basically I keep my trainers out. I have my beginning of the story, end of the story. I have the starting Pokemon everyone likes to start with. And like I said, you could choose whatever starting Pokemon you want. It doesn't have to be any of these. But like I said, for what I have here, it is a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun. And what is it now? 3:04? I don't even know what time I started. Around 2 o'clock, so 1 full hour. I mean, I burned through this, and you saw how fast I went through everything like that. So with this game, you can, like I said, with 4 people, like, this is an incredible experience because with the 4 players, so if you have your Eevee, so basically you would do with 4 players, how would that work? So 6, so 2, 4, 6, 8 in most cases, so it would have to be, I don't know how you would roll that. So with 4 people, you would literally have to find out some kind of, pick a number from 1 to 6. So everyone would say their number, and then you'd roll the dice. So if they say that number that's in there, or who's ever closer to that number, that's the person they would attack. So, but if there's only 3 people, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, or 3 to 4, 5 to 6. So one of those 2, and you would figure out who would attack what. And then I just have this, but it's portable for the most part. Once I get the hang of this game and I come up with some more ideas on how I want to do this, I think the stadium overall, the weaknesses I'm going to be adding, which is going to be big, the stadium gifts I need to work on. So we need something for beating the boss for that. I don't know what, but I gotta figure out something for stadium gifts for doing so. You know, something for street cred, or so on and so forth. And then lastly, basically the deck size is gonna be big. So like I said, I have enough here, and I probably could have played a third of that. You could play with that much, so you could be I want a quick game, and you can keep track of all of your Pokemon. Let's say if you want to make it even larger, you can add like full-on RPG modules to it. Like, you can do a ton with this game. So, how does that fit? There's that. I put that there so I know Professor Oak is my starting guy there. And that's the other thing. I use Professor Oak as my guide. Cheap viewers. That's great. So we're gonna ban you because I'm tired of that stuff. So I put that in there. That closes up. You don't need a ton of dice. You can use 6-sided dice. You can use whatever you have. You can hear I have a whole ton of stuff. Like, I don't even know what's in here. And eventually, I would like to get into, I know there's burn and poison. So we would have to be really good at knowing that stuff when it comes to poison. I know certain Pokemon are, but your poison can be like every turn unless you have that. So that's gonna be poison and burn. Poison, burn. I'm just making note. Like I said, there's so many things that you can do with this game. It is fantastic. Other than that, that is literally this game. Hopefully you thoroughly enjoyed it. Appreciate you stopping in. Other than that, I think that is all I'm going to be doing for today. So, thank you for stopping in. I will see you all later. Bye.